some 5/4. These are about 7 feet. There's a little, let's do the calculations. Okay, so when you go to a sawmill or a lumber yard, always make sure to bring a good tape measure and possibly a saw and possibly gloves for splinters, especially or if it's cold. I usually like to wear gloves. I didn't bring any today. I forgot them. But so I like to pick through my lumber, put it off to the side. But it's very important to be respectful. I go to the sawmill probably once or twice a week sometimes, depending on how busy I am. So I usually buy my lumber per order or per like a couple orders. If I have like 3 or 4 orders for the week, I'll buy all the lumber for the following week, with the week prior typically. So there's the price of this lumber here. It's pretty cheap now. It fluctuates daily. It's almost like seafood. So just got to remember to keep that in mind. So my calculations I'm going to try to do here may not be 100% correct, but we're going to try to lay them out as best as possible and get the rough numbers. So we'll do the math on this. First. These are the same at 9. So we're 3 at 9, 2 at 11.5. So I use a board feet calculator. So we'll do 7 feet with 11. Thickness, we'll just do 1.25, make it easier. So that's 8 board feet. At $1.35 per board feet. So that's about $11 per board. So we have we'll count how many boards we so we have also one 8-foot board. Okay, so now we have our 5/4 laid out. It's about $11 a board for the 11-inch wide boards. These are rough, so they'll be milled up to about 10 inches when I'm done. So we have these. So we have 1, 2 of them, and then we have 3 9-inch wide boards. Okay, also keep in mind when you're pricing out your projects, sometimes you can really factor this in because it does does play a role in your time, because your time, you could be here for an hour or two, plus your drive, depending on how far away the sawmill is or lumberyard. So it could be a couple hours in your day right there alone. Also keep in mind when you're done sorting through your lumber and picking it out, make sure you put the lumber back that you're not going to buy back to where it was in the stack, and clean up after yourself. Do not leave a mess. Be respectful to the sawmill. So here I'm just getting a rough measurement on all this 5/4, and also a little bit on the 1 inch too. I'm going to kind of lay this out. Some of these pieces are very long. I think this piece here is about 13 feet. We're going to cut this to about 8 feet and take the rest. So we'll almost cut in half, but not necessarily. So just make it more manageable to get out of the barn here, and also to load my truck. So keep that in mind too. Make sure you have space in your trucks, or if you have a trailer or a van, make sure you have space for all this lumber, and you can, that's why I like to bring a saw typically with me too. That way I can cut it if need be. That's one of the things. It's also pretty essential when you come to a sawmill. Cool. So all this lumber here is about $74 so far. Roughly 75. This is enough. I could probably do 3 orders I have lined up, or 2 at least, because I have some 8/4 at home still. This is all poplar. It's about 4, 2, 4, 5, 6. It's about 10 boards for about $75. You can't beat that. Okay, so I'm loaded up, paid up, and getting ready to head back to the house. And then I'll do a little more detailed calculation of, where the price was and what I came up with and what they charged me. And it pretty much came out to the dollar. So it's pretty good to know that you're dealing with a good sawmill, a fairly cheap sawmill, but also there's also a lot more work done when you get rough lumber. To keep that in mind also. So some 4/4 here. So it ended up coming to about $113, all of it. Um, well, I rounded it off to about 125 because I gave the young kid helping me a tip. So let's calculate how I got this. I mean, I pretty much did the math ahead of time, but I grabbed some more wood. So I was roughly around $80. But then I grabbed like 4 or 5 more little pieces, like 6-foot pieces. So that probably, with the taxes, it came out to 113, 114. So let's do the math. Okay, so first we have this 5/4. This is roughly 9 1/4 inches, so we'll round off to 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and these are all 7 feet except for one. So we'll do that math. And then we have a couple here that are like 67 inches. They're a little smaller, so say 5 feet roughly. We have 3 of them. And these are just over 10, these ones. And these are all 5/4. Then we have some 4/4 here. We have like a couple pieces. These are for bottom shelves for furniture I use. So roughly just be under an inch after we mill it all up. And the tops will be just roughly over an inch, hopefully, when we mill it all up. So let's do the math. So we have say 9 by 5/4 by 9 by 7 feet. We have 1, 2, 3 of them, and then the rest will round off. One's 8 foot, and the other ones are a little wider. Okay, so this is over 5/4, so we have 9 pieces all together. 3 at 7 feet, 1 at 8 feet by 9. We have 1 of 5 feet by 5/4 by 10. We have 1 5/4 by 9 by 5 feet equals 2, and then we have 5/4 by 11. We have at 7 feet we have 2, so it's 9 pieces all together roughly. So we'll do that math now. Okay, so here I'm just going to be putting in the length, the width, the thickness, and then the price per board foot per the sawmill. And this is how you could get your calculations, and it just does the division for you of the by 12 at the end, I guess. That will give you your board feet. As you can see there to the right bottom, and then you'll get the your price of each piece of each board, and you can add the tally in this application. This application is called Simple Board Feet. You can get it off on any Android or computer, or you can also just use your calculator on your phone. Okay, so after all the totals for the 5/4 came out to $78.05. Okay, so the 4/4. Oh, yeah. Looks like 8 feet. It's a little rousy. So we have 2 of them. These are both 9 1/2 inches wide. So that's 2. So I'll do 1 by 9.5 by 8 feet. Then we have, okay, so we have 2 8 long boards, 8 foot long by 9 1/2 inch wide by 1 inch thickness. So our new total with 2 of them is 95.15, and then we have 13 foot by 11.5 And that piece is 1682. Add the tally. Yep, and that puts us at roughly $112, which, and then he added taxes, so came out to 113, but he must have took some off, or maybe it was a little cheaper, or maybe my calculations are off a little bit, but that's what I paid, roughly $113. This on my calculator comes up 112 roughly, and that's not counting taxes. So I think taxes end up being about $6 or something like that. So, but so maybe his board feet was a little bit different than mine, but that's what I got. So this is a great deal, and that's about it. So that's how you calculate your board feet. Just put a nice little board calculator application, or just do this in your regular calculator. Just put your feet times your width times your thickness, and then you divide that by 12, and that will give you your board feet, and then you times that by your price of board feet. If it's going by board feet, if it's linear feet, it's going to be by the foot or by the board. So depending on what they're charging, most sawmills is board feet. All right, thanks.